A warm welcome back to the Forensics Detailing channel. So last stage protection, this car has been polished and it's been panel wiped, not to any great standard, which is something I was just thinking about before I started this video. You could really go to town with the degreasing of all of the polishing oils on like this car, but what I'm doing here is effectively kind of what I've done, which is just use a soft cloth and just give it a light panel wipe just to remove any polishing oils. That's like a demo of that. Okay. You know, that should take you 3 or 4 minutes just to quickly do that, whiz around the car. Now, in terms of how you should protect your car, it's going to be different depending on different people and different requirements. So first of all, in terms of like protection products that you can put on there, the ceramic coating is, you know, the most durable, hardest forming modern piece of technology that we have, you know, aside from PPF, which is really different, isn't it? It's not like a material that you liquid that you put on, you know, you get where I'm going. So ceramic coating is the first option. Might be right for some people, but where ceramic coatings aren't right is if you really like buffing on the car and like glossing it up, and you enjoy waxing it and you enjoy using all these different products week in and week out. So what's happening now is people are putting coatings down, and people are then asking me in the comments, John, I want to wax on top of my coating, because they see me doing a video on waxes or something, and they get the urge to go and buy the wax and wax it all up. You know, so there's people put coatings on without thinking that they might miss that kind of application process and buffing things up. So my general rule is if you like buffing things to a shine, then coatings might not be good for you. You know, you might want to look at using glazes and sealants and waxes and all that sort of stuff, especially in the summertime. If it's a car that you just want to protect for the maximum amount of time and just like have an easy life cleaning it, then you go with the coating. So what are your other options? Well, you have so many now. You have the water-based spray sealants, which have got good durability, very rapid application. They're sort of more film forming. You want to be careful not using these all the time. Although, to be honest, you can, but you wouldn't use like something like this every week, and you could do, because they all go on like detailers. This one's even called a detailer, but you just want to avoid like whacking down strong water-based spray sealants every week. I'm just having a cup of tea here. And then you've got your traditional paste waxes, like synthetic ones like Fuso, and hybrid ones. I've just been doing that Soft 99 video, like the Kwame. And I was thinking the Kwame would be a really good option for this, because it gives you a nice carnauba gloss, but it cures off properly. Or you could put a show wax on here, which, you know, it would be an option. But because we've polished this, I think I want to put down what is referred to as a polymer sealant. It sounds very impressive, doesn't it? Polymer sealant, polymer. You know, we were sort of sold these 20 years ago, you know, or I think, so there's different types of sealant. This is essentially a polymer sealant. So in other words, typically a polymer sealant means it's a silicon polymer. So it's an amino-functional silicon polymer. What do you mean by amino-functional? Well, the amino is functional. Generally, if you hear that, it means it's a bonding sealant, a curing bonding sealant. So it kind of bonds to the paintwork, which was a big selling point for these silicon sealants when they kind of bust onto the scene. We had acrylic sealants first after waxes, I believe. And then I think we had silicon polymer sealants, and you know, these were going to be the next thing that replaced waxes. But then in layman's, the actual sort of observable durability performance may not be like better than some waxes. There's waxes that could probably last as long as this. However, this product, I believe, has really, really good durability, like from when I tested it. And it stood out to me as being a really good product. It didn't win the test because it's not easily available in the UK, but this product has a phenomenal buff on it, and it has a phenomenal slickness, and it is durable as well. It's not mega hydrophobic. It's not like a Fuso beader, you know, or a BSD beader, but it is hydrophobic. It's just a very complete sealant, and it's really good. And I'm going to be exploring this a little bit more and testing some more to explore this genre of products a little bit. And there's not that many options with these kind of products actually out there. And we don't have, I noticed a lot of UK companies haven't explored this technology that much. And I'll talk about that in other videos. Some of you be itching to give me examples where they have, but you may or may not. There may be a few silicon polymer UK branded kind of products out there. I don't know. But there's loads of American ones. The Americans have got us. They've invested in this. The Americans. There's lots of offerings of it over there, and this is an example of a really good one. So you need to, with a silicon polymer based sealant, we're told you need to kind of prep the car after polishing so you can get a cleaner, degreased surface. So my way of simply doing that is just to mist a little bit of panel wipe. This has been wiped down, but I'll just demo what that would look like, and it would just be going over that surface like section by section. So there's a little section, flipping your cloth, and then just what you've done is you're just getting off any trace elements of oil. Okay. And it should feel nice, the paintwork under that buff. It does. It always feels good. If it's gripping still, you might, especially with a white car, there might be a little patch of polish or greasy footprint that you haven't got off. So a good panel wipe going over all of the car before putting down a polymer sealant is a really good idea. So new ceramic polymer sealants. This has SiO2 polymer in it. So it's a variation, I believe, of the Jescar, I nearly said Ultralock, Power Lock. So this is like Power Lock, but with SiO2 material in it. It's like ceramic SiO2 material, so SiO2 polymer, something like that. Long-lasting paint protection, guarantees an ultra deep wet finish. Maybe, yeah, all that sort of stuff, fine. It's the buff and it's the slickness on this that really impresses me, and the durability. I think it's the best one I've used, and I've tested a fair few, although not that many, which is why we're going to do some more exploration. This product, I did some SDS stalking on it, also contains a tiny amount of abrasive material, according to the SDS that I looked at, and I find that quite desirable. It's not a product that you're going to use to correct paint, but I find that desirable because it just gives you that ability to use it and get a bit of scrub. So if you had a car, you could just whiz over it with a machine polisher and this, and it might do a tiny little bit of finishing for you, which I think is good. But you haven't really got to worry about this product blasting through your clear coat, you know, dropping your clear coat level. It's not that sort of thing. What else? It needs a half an hour cure time on the panel. I'm going to give it longer because I've done that. I've done so before, and yeah, I haven't used this for a while. I've given it a good shake. It's just, I need two hands here. Let me just free this up. It's going to go everywhere. So I'm going to give it probably an hour, maybe even a little bit longer on the panel. You can apply via machine, which sometimes allows you to, you know, improve the panel a bit more. But I've been going over so many panels for so long with machine polishers. You lose a bit of accuracy when you use machine polisher to apply these sealants, and you risk like putting sealant everywhere after you've just done a nice polish. So I've got this massive, great soft foam flex applicator here, and that will allow me to put the product out, and it will just give me a bit more control, and it's still going to be a rapid process. Now, one of the problems is I can't see anything because it's white on white. So you've got to, it's even hard. Oh, there we go. Once I get that angle on, I can see it like I'm applying a paste wax. So as long as we get some material over this surface and we get it on the edge, you can also layer this. It advises you wait 3 hours before putting on your second layer, which I'm not going to do because of time constraints, and this car's not going to, it's not going to suffer from lack of LSP, this car. It's going to be pampered, and it's going to have all sorts of stuff thrown at it. Dan will be, God knows what he's going to be putting on it, but he's got his own little routine, and he's got his own little products that he likes. He's got all the Meguiars stuff. He uses the hybrid ceramic wax, which is, you know, probably ideal. It will sit on top of this, no problem, and all that sort of thing. So this car will always be beady and looking nice. So let's just see. Yeah, that's still going. So with this, I don't want to get any polish or any of this sealant over anything. I've taken all of I took this front tape off. I should have left that on. I've left the side seal tapes on. I just want to see if we're working a little bit dry here. Yeah, we are. We're starting to get a little bit dry. And I don't want that, because especially white on white, I'd rather have a bit more than a bit less and have little gaps. I've had this Jescar product for quite a long time. I must have used it, I don't know, 3 or 4 times. You don't need to use a lot of product to seal a car with it, which is good. But the product hasn't gone bad in the bottle, which was something I was keeping an eye on with it, because you think it might expire or go bad or something like that. It hasn't. So it seems to have a good shelf life as well, and it seems to have gone through a couple of summers and winters without doing anything bad, which is important for me. I don't like it if I've got a product on the shelf and I know it's going to go off. It's like you've got to use it. Well, I've got too many to use. So there we go. We've got a good application now over this bonnet. And spreading that product, guys, it's even lighter than a paste wax. It spreads easier than the paste wax. I believe this product is solvent carried as well, because it's not got a pleasant fragrance. It's got a smell of kerosene to me. I'm going to put a proper polishing nipple applicator on it. It's probably just easier just to dollop some out like this, but I'll put a polish thing on it. It can gunk up a little bit the heads. It's probably not, but I don't think that's the head that came with it. But I wanted to demo putting it onto you, and I wanted to demo the buff, and I wanted to talk about that this is a good choice for a white car, because you can, because it's a good choice because it's easy to buff. So anything that's going to toughen, even the wax, might be a bit harder to buff, and it might be a bit harder for me to see any issues around where I haven't buffed it properly. It's going to mask it, because you know these products tend to cure white, don't they? So on a white car, it's easier. So I just wanted to use a product that was going to be easy to buff, but it's such an easy product. It's so, well, it just needs a little bit of work in there, but it's just light. It's a light liquid sealant. It's really nice. Yeah. Let's just go around and do the other side of that roof. You do need to, I said you don't need to use much, but I am using quite a bit here, and it's I suppose, yeah, I just feel it's better when you're working it and you're seeing that material go out. If you're putting it out and you're getting dry patches, then the chances are you're not going to seal all your paintwork. So by leaving this tape here as well, it just means I'm not going to get any of the sealant in the edges. And once this is on, I'll probably buff it. I'll probably leave the tape on. I don't know. The thing with this product as well, sorry, I'm just thinking as I'm doing this, is it doesn't give you all those kind of white crumbs that could then fall into all of the seals and stuff. I think from memory, I'm 99% sure you don't get any of that. It sort of just buffs really well. In fact, that's one of reasons I really like this product is it has a phenomenal buff, very important for me, and a phenomenal buff is a sign of a really good formulation. You know, it's easy to try and chase like certain performance things. That would probably be the biggest thing that I could say about this polymer silicon sealant technology, is that because the core resin, like if you take a wax is a rock hard material that needs to be heavily dissolved and mixed with oil. So there's a balancing act going on with how much you soften the waxes with other waxes. And the more you do, the more your backbone is weaker. You know, it's not as durable. And you've got that going on, and you've also got to dissolve that, and then the solvent is coming out and the film toughens to a hard resin. The thing with these is this film, I don't believe, like, toughens. So the cure is a light material, you know what I mean? So it just lifts off the panel so nice. That's the main advantage of these polymer sealants, rather than some sort of massive performance difference over a wax. You know, there isn't really. I'll test it further, but I think if I took like a wax like Kwame, which is a carnauba hybrid wax with some sort of hydrophobic stuff in it and all that, I think it might kind of match this on durability. Fuso would probably beat it. But yeah, there is an advantage with this polymer sealant, that it never goes rock hard, and that's really important. Yeah, so it's good. You could sort of understand that if a professional was delivering a detail, they would want to make sure that the application of this product was really, really bulletproof, and there was no risk that they could detail a car and hand it back to the client, and the client gets it and then finds kind of like smudges or marks and stuff like that. So wipe down is so important. And like, as I'm working on this, I don't want to give this car back to Dan and then have him go and look round it and find like smudges on it, because he'll be just like, oh, you missed a bit, you haven't buffed that bit. Yeah, so that's an important part of it. What I'll do is I'll finish applying this to the whole car, and then I'll leave it an hour or so till it's ready to buff, and then I'll come back and we'll buff together. And I'll probably be going nuts about how slick it is, because that's the party piece of this particular product, the slickness on the panel when you buff it. The last time I used it was when it was on a 996. It was Dan's 996, and he wanted it all prepped up for sale. I think I did a turbo polish on it. I S20'd it and then put on that polymer sealant, and it was just. We took it to Phil Raby's. He was good. He sold it for Dan, you know. So we wanted it looking really sharp, and it just did a really good job. Okay, I'll be back in a second. Okay, so we're back, and this product has been on for about an hour, so it should definitely be cured. But it's, from what I remember, this is going to be easy to buff. Yeah, never really goes rock hard or anything, this product. This is the bit that I kind of enjoy. It's just so easy. I'm not putting any pressure. It's just so easy. Whatever it does, this product, I mean, it's got a magical buff. Every time I've talked about it, it really does. It's just a magical buff. You can get it up so easily. Yeah, it's just, I mean, it's going to be a hard product to beat this for me. It's just a shame it's sort of not so readily available in the UK. You still got to be careful here because it's white, so I can't see everything. So if I get my fingers down onto the edge and just get that, but yeah, that is that is it. Yeah, it's so easy. Yeah, so I'll go round. Just want to try and get some light so you can actually see what we're dealing with. It goes to like a shine in some places, which is really interesting, because normally you want to see a film. There's a clear bit over there. I definitely got it all. It's interesting, that is. Let's just go to a bit that's hazy. I might just put a little bit more over that bit. That just worries me, that does. Or it might just be thinner there. But you can see, well, you can barely see the product, but it's just like the wipe down on it is just so good. It's such a good wipe down. I get a bit excited when products really like impress me, and this is just such a good sealant. It really is. It's such a good sealant because of that buff. That buff just makes it all worthwhile. I just want to sort of like try and show it, but it's so difficult to show it. Camera's looking quite dark, isn't it? I've got all the lights on. It's just quite dark. But let's try and just stay back and just run that microfiber over that thing without too much pressure. So you just swipe over. It's just like, it just comes away. It is just so light. That's what's impressive. That is definitely like, it's funny because I don't think this product even claims or makes any marketing claims about having a light buff, a light, easy buff. And that is literally like its most incredible kind of feature is just that white back to a clear panel. It's just so easy, you know. You've got to pick it all up, but it's so light and the panel is so slidey. A little bit more toughening there. That's why I'm not afraid to ever leave this for longer, because it just never seems difficult to remove. You can really like trust this product. So like straight away, it was the right choice to use for this white car. It really was. So the thing that I'm worried about whenever I apply something which like this, you've got to go over the whole car and you've got to contact every part of the car to apply it. You know, it's got to be on every bit. And if you don't get right up to the edge with this product, you know, you've missed a bit. A water-based product is more forgiving because like if you miss a bit, it kind of flashes back and you sort of see it, you know. So a water-based product, spray sealant, can be really forgiving to apply. So you have to get your application right with these and you have to get your buff right with these. But I feel like, you know, if you get it right, you know that everywhere that film has gone is sealed and good. So what I need to do really is just focus now on buffing rather than talking and filming, and go around the entire car and buff all this off and do it diligently. Like when you're on one panel, like when you're doing the bumper, do that bumper carefully, you know, and then when you're on that wing, do that wing carefully. And then like the car will go outside in light, in stronger sunlight. It's a nice bright day today. And then I can just I'll take the tape off first and then just do like a final buff down. The only other thing I'm going to do on the inside, he isn't quite finished on the inside. He's got some bits have got to come out because he's flocked them. And I've been joking that you put the aircon on and all the flocking comes out and you get a moustache. It goes in your teeth. So he's going to redo the flocking in leather or something. A seatbelt has got to go into the passenger side, so the seat's going to come out. So just a few little jobs. The horn's got to be fixed. I'll probably end up doing that. There's something wrong with the earthing, I think, but we'll figure that out. So really all I'm going to do with the inside is I'm going to do a turbo vac with that little machine because it's not particularly bad in there. And I'm just going to dress the dashboard because that dashboard was taken out of an older car and it will benefit from a little dressing. So I'm going to do that. And that's all I'm going to do on the inside. I'm not going to touch those GT3 seats at all, really. I'll just wipe them over and that'll be it for the inside. I need to wipe over the inside of the glass as well. There's some, I've done the outside and that's been sealed, but the inside needs a wipe down. So does all of the glass really. It's a bit difficult for me to get into that back because there's some smudges in the inside of the rear screen as well, but I'll try and do that. I'll get the extension stick wiper thing. So yeah, pretty much getting there with this, but I just need to turn the camera off and just concentrate a little bit on the buffing, or I'll mess it up if I'm filming. But yeah, such an impressive product. This really is an impressive product actually. It's like, it's going to take some beating, that is. It's just, yeah, very good, a very high scoring product. It does have good durability. I remember when I did the sealant test, that was its main thing. It's got good, it withstands chemicals well. I don't know, you know, real world durability, because it's not a 10 out of 10 out of beading. It's like a 6.5 or a 7 or something, you know, just putting numbers around it. So when that beading starts to degrade, it's harder to know this product's on there. But when you put it on test panels in strips and you let them all cure off, and then you go and do like chemical testing on it, it performed well on that. But it's mainly, it's not even so much about this wet look finish. It finishes great, but you know, that comes more from the paint. It's about the application and buff for me of this particular product. That is top drawer. Yeah, very good, very light product to use, but usually when a product's light and easy to buff, it's compromised on durability. So that's the magic of Ultralock Plus. That, anyone, if you haven't used this and you go and use it for the first time, you'll notice a light buff, you'll notice an extremely slick buff, and I think you should be pretty happy with this product. Yeah, it's just difficult to get. That's the only problem. And I managed to get this 8-ounce bottle or whatever it's called on eBay or something ages ago, and it wasn't ridiculously expensive. I can't remember. It might have been like 15 or 16 quid or something, which is more than it normally is over in America. You know, it's very cheap in America. In the UK, I will get through this and I'll look to buy a litre of it because it seems to stay good as well. It's just very good. Yeah, really good stuff. Yeah, congratulations. I doff my proverbial cap to that sealant. I'm not even sure if it's worth testing others against it, because I'm not sure if they're going to be as good, but that's part of the driving force behind the channel. So I've been researching a few other similar type products that are like baseline sealants to see if they can outperform it and out-impress me. But yeah, they'll have to be very, very good to turn me away from that product, I think. Okay, thanks for watching, guys. Put in the comments what baseline sealant is your favorite as well, because it gives me ideas. I'm looking for like an emulsion, like a cream that you put onto a bare prep panel that bonds, forms a good baseline sealant. That's what I'm looking for. So put it in the comments what your favorite is, and put the price of it per how much you get for it as well, because that helps me when I'm looking at kind of potential options. So we're going to be doing some lovely buffage for the next probably half an hour now. Bye for now.